This is the identity shift that took me from someone who was burnt out, who was ugly, who was struggling, to someone who stepped into trust, faith, knowing that everything is going to work out for her. I quit my 9 to 5 10 years ago and I've not looked back. I've created time freedom as well as financial freedom for myself. I get to spend my time, wake up whenever I want, do whatever it is that I want. And it took an identity shift to actually live this kind of life. Believe that it is possible for you. Okay, it seems like a no-brainer, but if you don't believe that something is possible for you, you're never going to find the solutions to make it happen for you. Firstly, if you have a block that it's not going to happen for you, you got to get rid of that block, because that block is actually stopping you from gaining access to the gold mine that is within you, that is going to present you with all the ideas, all the possibilities, all the solutions to all problems in your life right now. The step towards that is to believing in your personal power. The thing that helped me actually work towards my personal power and actually believe in my personal power is to understand how reality works, how consciousness works, how my state of being is actually creating my reality. So once I started embodying all of those principles, I actually saw that the more I changed my inner state, the external responded in accordance to that. And everything that was going on inside of me was going outside of me. Believing that this is possible because scientifically, physically, energetically, it's all possible. I had proof everywhere that this is going to work for me. So I made it work. I shifted things inside of me to believe that this is going to be my reality, the self-belief and that conviction that you can do this. Trust God into providing for me. Because one thing I realized is that if God put us on this planet, then He has created everything in this planet to sustain us. So I put my faith back into that principle. And lack is something that is a construct we created. Okay? All that is abundance. Lack shows up in different ways inside of you. Not only in money, but in the way you behave, in the way you think that opportunities are created for you, in the way that you believe things about yourself. But I didn't want to play by the rules that were created by someone else. I wanted to just rely solely on God's providence for me and my business and God's guidance. I had to rely on my intuition and I had to rely on the messages that I was getting from within to take the decision. What someone else's life is doesn't need to be my own life. I get to choose and create the life that I want. Stop relying on the evidence of someone else's reality, because that is created by their own state of being. That is how they want to respond to life. Someone else has started something and it's not worked out for them. That doesn't mean that's not going to work out for you. You get to choose and decide and react and play in this game the way you want to do it. You get to play in this game of life the way you want to play. You have to create the avatar that you would want to use to create the life of your dreams. Okay, so this is like a game that you play, and you got to step into that version of you that is living the life of your dreams, and then obviously then operate in the world in that capacity, and then sort of things happen that are coherent to how you are behaving. I didn't want to hustle. I didn't want to be in a 9 to 5 job. I didn't want to have stress in my life, that unnecessary stress, especially because life has things that it throws at you, and sometimes those you can't avoid. So I didn't want to have this unnecessary stress in my life, which is why I decided that I wanted to be someone else. And when you realize that the life that you're experiencing is as a result of how you are, of who you are, then you get to alter everything on the inside to then make life be the way you want it to. Living the life of your dreams is actually pretty simple. You have to shift things internally. You have to realize that you are the source of everything that you see around you, and then change your decisions, change your actions, and change the way you interact with this reality to then make it whatever it is that you like. I started carrying myself in this way. This identity is very personal. So what someone else is doing, you can't do. That is how you actually create a life that you love. You can't only create a business, you have to create a business that is so aligned with who you are as a person. And honestly, sometimes you think that, businesses have to be this massive infrastructure, this massive corporation with like tens and hundreds of employees, but it doesn't have to be like that. It has to be what is true to you, what you feel is true for you, what you feel is good for you and your life. your nervous system. You're a complete wreck. That is not the way you live life. I had to learn to focus on my gifts and to focus on what lights me up and be so focused on that, because those are clues from my consciousness, from my awareness, that this is something that you have to follow. This is something that lights you up, so go towards this. Why do you think all of us have different things that light us up? Is because they're actually doorways to abundance, to a feeling of peace, to a feeling of gratitude. They're doorways. So whatever lights you up, go towards that, because that is a pathway to being a life that you love. It changes from time to time. It is different at different levels, because what you need to understand is that when I say life is a game, it is a game, and you have to keep moving up levels and keep changing your avatar as you go up. To go up as well, you need to change your avatars. What we do is that we remain stuck in this one layer, of reality, and we forget to explore that there are so many more. Not just financial freedom. You'd want to explore so much more. Financial freedom and time freedom are the most basic things. You need to realize also that being sick, being ugly, being someone who has no time for themselves is not the way God designed us to be. And if you feel like it is really not true for you, you need to understand that there is another way. There are other options to operate as well. I had to also work on my money beliefs, because there's a lot of conditioning around what money is and how money comes to you and how you have to work hard for money. And all of that is basic conditioning, just the way we're conditioned to believe that we have to work hard to sort of earn a living. I had to develop my character in a way that attracts all of this money, that magnetizes money. I had to let go of desperate energy and step into a knowing that money just flows to me effortlessly, and it always did. I, like any other person, had dips in my income. I had phases where I kind of made no money as well. But for me to I had to transcend all of those phases, because there was learning in each of those phases, and I had to step into a knowing. I used to get fearful, but every time God provided, every single time. And you have to go through all of these levels sometimes to develop that knowing in you, to develop that faith in you. If this is something that you're interested in, I have created a 3-month long intensive container in which we're going to go through all of these principles to help you design the life that you absolutely love. And this is a container for women who are very serious and very passionate about all of these topics, who want to create a slow business for themselves, who want to create time freedom for themselves, who want to step into their personal power, who want to understand how reality works. This is the container, and if you're someone who's interested in that, then just comment down below and I will send you all of the details.